Last week we heard, last week I think, we heard the story of the presentation of the baby Jesus in the temple, which would be sort of like a church, where he didn't get baptized, but he was presented there to affirm his part of the Jewish faith. This is now a little bit later when Joseph and Mary, baby might be a little bit bigger now, but we still are using that little baby. Whoopsies. Far back in Galilee. I'm going to show the map again. Remember, Galilee's up here. If this continued over here, we'd have the country of Egypt. And the name of the story that we're going to hear today is The Flight into Egypt. Not flight like flying, but like an escape. If you remember that the wise men had come to worship the child, and they had stopped and told the king Harrod, and Harrod said, well, come back and tell me that I may worship him too. But the wise men had a dream. They were warned in a dream not to do that, because Herod didn't like the baby Jesus. He was scared because he might replace him. So this is sort of a continuation of that, the flight into Egypt. The angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother with you, and escape into Egypt, and stay there until I tell you, because Herod intends to search for the child and do away with him." So Joseph got up, and taking the child and the mother, they left that night for Egypt. Now, on this little sign, it says Bethlehem, and it points that way, Egypt, and it points that way. See the pyramids in Egypt. We'll talk a little bit more about Egypt. Now this doesn't look, and this shows kind of Bethlehem and the far off pyramids. This doesn't look like a long way because we're just using a little storyboard, but this was a long distance that they traveled. I don't know how long it took them, but it probably took them, because they were using their donkey again, probably took them a pretty long time. So Joseph got up, taking the child and his mother with him, and left that night for Egypt, where he stayed until Herod was dead. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken through the prophet. I called my son out of Egypt. And we talked about prophets last week. After Herod's death, the angel of the Lord appeared again in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother with you, and go back to the land of Israel. For those who wanted to kill the child are dead. It's safe now." So Joseph got up, and taking the child and his mother with him, went back to the land of Israel. But when he learned that Archelaus had succeeded his father Herod as ruler of Judea, he was afraid to go there, and being warned in a dream, he left for the region of Galilee. There he settled down in a town called Nazareth. In this way the words spoken through the prophets were to be fulfilled. He will be called a Nazarene. So they went back up where they had originally lived instead of staying here in Bethlehem or Jerusalem and Judea. They went up to Galilee. Must have been a hard trip to make with a little baby. And must have been kind of scary. I wonder what Mary thought about that. And did you notice how many dreams were in this? I think there were 3. One dream told him to leave and go to Egypt. One dream told him it was safe to come back. And then the third told him to go to Nazareth. So very interesting. The dreams are like, then the angel came to him in a dream. It's like God is speaking to them through the dream.